You're scrolling through your phone, getting ready to kick back and relax, when BM, a headline hits you like a truck. Chicago Fire's Stella kid rushed to the hospital after shocking incident. Immediately, your heart drops. We all know the feeling. We've spent seasons getting to know the brave men and women of Firehouse 51. We've laughed with them, cried with them, and held our breath through every heart-pounding emergency. They're not just characters on a screen. They're like family. And when one of them is in danger, it feels personal. So let's get into the details, because you deserve the real story, not some watered-down summary. The whole thing went down in an epic crossover event that had us all on the edge of our seats. Firehouse 51 was tackling a huge multi-story residential blaze. Smoke, flames, and chaos. It was the kind of emergency that makes you hold your breath. In the middle of it all, Stella was trying to help her husband, Lieutenant Kelly Severide, get out of a terrifying situation. In a moment of pure, raw courage, the kind that defines a true hero, Stella pushed herself past her limits. She was working to create an opening for Severide, but in the heat of the moment, she didn't realize her oxygen supply was dangerously low. It's a firefighter's worst nightmare. One second she's a force of nature, the next she's collapsing, completely overwhelmed by the smoke and lack of air. That moment, the one where she falls, is a gut punch. It's a moment that reminds us how incredibly vulnerable these brave souls are, even the ones who seem invincible. The team, her family at Firehouse 51, immediately rushed to her side. They got her out, but the scene was a blur of frantic energy and terrified faces. They couldn't get her breathing on her own, and the only option was to get her intubated and to the hospital immediately. And this is where the emotional roller coaster really kicks into high gear. At the hospital, the situation was grim. The doctors were discussing removing part of her lung to save her life. Imagine that. The very career she loves, the job that is so deeply a part of her identity, hanging by a thread. Severide, completely distraught and blaming himself, was having none of it. He stood up to the doctors, his voice cracking with emotion, telling them that being a firefighter is everything to Stella. He wasn't going to let them take that from her. But the doctors had a difficult job to do, and with Stella's family unreachable, the final decision was theirs. It was a heartbreaking moment, a stark reminder that even with all the love and support in the world, some things are out of our control. Luckily, the rest of the 51 family wasn't about to give up. Led by a passionate Herman, they intervened, begging the doctors to reconsider. They reminded them that Firehouse 51 is Stella's family, and in an act that truly speaks to the heart of the show, the medical team took a huge risk. They opted for a riskier, but less invasive, surgery. The whole procedure was a nail-biter. There were moments where it seemed like they might lose her, but in a victory for everyone who believes in miracles, the surgery was a success. She not only survived, but she was able to keep her lung. The doctors announced that she would be able to get back to work soon, and a collective sigh of relief could be heard across the fandom. When she finally woke up, weak but okay, Severide was right there by her side. His raw emotion was palpable. He told her how happy he was that she was back, and with a small but powerful smile, Stella responded, "Of course." It was a simple line, but it meant everything. It was a promise that their bond was stronger than any fire, any injury, and any fear. This story is more than just a plot point. It's a testament to the incredible bravery of firefighters, the unwavering support of a chosen family, and the power of love in the face of impossible odds. It reminds us why we get so invested in these characters and why their stories resonate so deeply. We're not just watching a show. We're watching heroes, and we're all a part of the Firehouse 51 family. That harrowing ordeal was a stark reminder of the immense risks that first responders face every single day. While we see the fire engines and the flashing lights, we often forget the human beings behind the helmets, The mothers, fathers, sisters, and brothers who are willing to put their lives on the line for complete strangers. Stella's struggle and ultimate recovery highlight a truth that hits close to home for anyone who's ever worried about a loved one in a dangerous profession. It's a story of sacrifice and the incredible resilience of the human spirit. But it's also a story about the unbreakable bond of family. Not just the one you're born into, but the one you choose. The way the entire Firehouse 51 team rallied around Stella wasn't just for dramatic effect. It was a powerful representation of what it truly means to have